This is a talk given on matters arising from the death of Dr. John Silo on the 15th of April 2020 as requested by the government. Dear friends, Dr. John Silo, one of the prominent doctors of our state as well as of other states in the northeast, died early in the morning on the 15th of April 2020. It was something which was unexpected and a very difficult thing for many to accept. We express our condolences to his family at this time of loss. He has served our state and our people for many years as a healthcare provider, both for the city of Shillong through Bethany Hospital and for the public of Nongpo and the surrounding areas through Bethany Outreach, as well as other services. His service also extended to Mizoram, which also feels a great loss. However, what is sad to think is that when he died, his body was not accepted to be buried even in his own property or allowed to be taken to the crematorium. This may be from fear, but the same people who received blessing and help in their illnesses in the past have rejected him. I feel that it was the same 2000 years ago for our Lord Jesus Christ, that those who sang Hosanna when he went into Jerusalem because they thought that he was coming as a king, in a short time rejected him. I am ashamed of my people, which calls itself a Chetbanrev Tibrew Tiblay. Others are now looking down on us because they thought we would be better than this. I express my appreciation of the churches which have offered him a resting place. And finally, the Ppe Presbyterian Church. I have been seeing patients since the lockdown. Presently, I am in self-isolation, but I will go back to the hospital at the time which is kept for me. What if I get the illness from one of you? I am more than 70 years old, so my risk of severe illness or death is higher. If I die, will you reject my body? How would you feel if it is one of your loved ones? Our healthcare workers are doing what they can to look after you. Yes, they are afraid, but they will go on. But they are also rejected by house owners and not allowed to go back home. If you say that we should not look after patients with this illness anymore, let us close all our hospitals and stay at home. A word to those who use social media. What does it benefit you to tear down people with the posts which you put out or forwarding the posts which you do not understand? It's not only people but those who are suffering and hurting. Does it benefit you to do that? The government of Meghalaya has requested me to give some awareness about this illness, and I will take some questions which we have received from time to time. But now I have expressed my own personal feelings as well as on behalf of the government, and I take responsibility for the words I am saying at this time. Now for awareness. The government has done what it could to prevent entry of this illness to our state, but it has come, and it is sure that no country, even the richest countries of the world, could prevent it. As we know well, this illness spreads by coughing and sneezing, and a dead person does not cough, nor can he breathe. After death, the body is sealed in a body bag, and there are procedures to be done which are laid down by the government of India. It is also advised to finish the funeral rites early and not many people to attend it. But after burial or cremation, there is no reason for the virus to spread. Yes, there is fear, but a war may bring out the best in us or the worst in us. Let us be strong instead of weak. I have also been asked to mention a few rules and to strengthen what has been taught before. That is still important for us, for our own good and for the sake of the community, to follow what has been taught. That is, to maintain social distancing. I don't need to explain it at this time. To remember cough etiquette, which means to cover our nose, our face, nose, mouth when we cough or sneeze to prevent spread. And to remember to wash our hands frequently. It is safe not only for ourselves but also to prevent further spread of this virus. A note on the role of our communities. Many Shillongs are very supportive. We thank them for their efforts. However, this is a very fluid and changing situation, and we cannot have answers for all possible events. And therefore, we may find lapses as new situations arise. But I request you to kindly have faith in the system so that all can work together. If each decides to do their own thing, it will lead to chaos. With a heavy heart, I urge all to be one at this time of crisis. Death will come to us all, but my question is, how did I live? Parlok nang snap. Dr. John Sailo ubalong uway ni Dr. Bapawnam hakajala jungi patru hakiway kijala jungani ka thain sate lam migi ula khlar no dang step ka khatsandri ubna yeyom arjar arkho kalong ka jing kendit yaki babon uniu Dr. ula syakri yakajala hakarukam barat ba hakalyang jo ka jingko jingkhia takisnem di babon ula yarak ka star Shillong lengba ka Bethany Hospital padia ki paiba babon ha Shillong ka Shillong nang po lengba ka Bethany Outreach ula la urban penyari ki lat jingerap syaga jella Mizoram ka Lasem ka jingdo ka bakrau lengba ka jingklat jong Andrei ka basnosi ban perkhat kalong bahabau layap lapan syang ka met jong sene bat satai ba amdan ba sya ban tep ka met jong wat halak jong kecaka lani ban thang ka dese ka dei na ka jing skong shapting dei kita ki jo ki briu ki blayo mat ya ki jingker khu ka jing erap ka jing pang ka jing stong di pon balale kira kantai yau na smau kalong kumjo yu try Yesu kita ki pai ba yo perta hosana por urung si Jerusalem namar gimot urung ku musiem aden kediat por ki kentat yau ngasol ran nak benta ka cai pun riu jongi ka baong ka dei ka cai pun riu tip blai ki wei ki cai pun riu kila ya kran ben yangi namar ba kila perkhat ngi kham klan banya kane ngapen pau jing sngomo ya ki balang bla terwa bantep ya kamet jong bat akabokut ya kabalang Presbyterian lihat samtia ngalapet basuma nampang hostel agapor la lockdown mentang ngadang po isolation ya di ndai kan sapor poi kapor dengan lek biang sa hospital kumno la ngabit ya kan jingpang na pi ngalapalat nyokos nem teladang ayo ya kan jingpang kala pun khamjur lene la pun poi sya ka jingyam kin kentai ikamet cuma kumno pin snow lele kaja yaki ba e jongpi kinong sumar ki lele katala man sumar hoi makiru ki septeng bu don ke jing smos ear andrei kinang ye tre andrei yakiru akan tait ne ki traien batam sha so iki pande ien lada bi ong ban sumar so iki to ki bapang ya kan ke jing pang ki to ngin ni ham ki hospital barok bangin ye somlut ien kemudian komentar jong pi ki pendon kam di social media kong ka WhatsApp bat ki we perkat ba komentar ayu ya pi da ka pi pa ya ki post ki message dan ne ko forward ya ki klam so tho ki ba persang man patar bat ban khot khai ya ki do no ki jing mo jing perkat kham tam jong ki to be sem ki jing jinja ki por kum ki ni kaya rap kumnoi pi benle kutta semua ada perkat bah kesorkan megala kalau betai ngawan ai jing syai halo kene jing pang bat ke ige bayade kejinya lengba jongka kin sadan ka sabdan ko por hade ngane ban jubab ka to kane jing keli ki bangi juyo ngal ko ngo ya jing pha ndrei kejingkan juga dengan por kaderu kejing smau juga marway kongri simet patna kit kli ya kini kentien juga kiba keren ha kane ka por ban pois kejing pensai kindiak ke sorkar jungi kalele kat bala man pelai na kejing rung jong niu jingpang ke jela jungi andai kalawan ban ngis ngau thu bakano kanu ngari ru wat kiba ru spa kimla man khang ya kani jimpang kala pon na wajar ho pat sandria bat ni tip hai ta ubayap penban jer ho lani sandria so pat la ban persa nan sim pa hadian balayap la khang la elomet agar kom rabu bat pendep kat kum ki kendon balabu dakas sorkar India kebahar ban tep kloy kat bala bagi babon kimla balik mantap kani sisa kalau kejing do ko bentar jungi ndrei ndala tiap lani la thang uniu knyang umdan jingba nar bentar kito ki badan hasaudang ko kejing syakte gadon ndrei hak thma babhatam ru kami nengi ndrei bas niu tam ru kala pan mi tungi yelom ki bakhlai kendia ru oi nga ban pen mau ya ki kendon balabu ban ya bot ban kini dang don kam ban yai biteng ban ya rap nama wa kejing pang kadang don ngin ken mau ban le kata ko ki on social distancing ban ya penjai iwe ban like kejing pen separate ngin ken mau kata ko ki on cough etiquette kata mot jing ban jer ho ban tap mot sintur ki jongi por ban jen ho lani sandria in ken mau ya kejing terkti dapat bayar buat kasabon bon sen ban yada ya radiru ban yada nama ngilak tak seni setai di ban berkoi kiti man la kapor kaya sibon wadam klet ya kini kediaru nak benta jong ka benta jong Shillong bat ka imlang sa lang jongi kum kibriu Shillong ki bobon ki lalong sisa ki bayar kesan sibon barok kata ni penpau ni ai kublai ka benta jong ki jing pesan jong ki barok ki lele kan bala ban penbena ban yarap ban kersan ban yele ban ya ai ka bang kedi na ka benta ki tung besem ya ka jing lanat bat sisa ka lalong ki jing kerku ya ki Shillong ki jongi ndai gani kalau kapor tu betin kela kaba step banginam la bandan juba ya ek bar beja kesan la ban lap ki jing duna jing bombyang handai kedai ke jing kepat benginnya yaine dia syak bat sanya akar company ai nak benta benginnya la punya trelang da kawai ke jing mut pada kan way ke manusia dari iwe ngi persamun le lakajong jing mut cancer lam serajing kulma da kamen sem jong jing songkhia ngakapa dipi ngini snok ti lam akaba ngini job ya kan ke jing pang ngin sa job jing ya sisa kan wan aparo ya ki ba nga nrei ke jing kali jungai pi kalong apa ke jing ya kawan nrei ngalaim kumno. These are certain questions which have been asked. I will try to answer them as far as possible. The answer may not fully adequate. I have tried to find them from people who have been advising, and the recommendation may change from time to time as we know, as the situation is fluid. People have been asking questions from the counseling centers, and these are some of the questions which have been put. How do we catch the COVID-19 virus? How does it spread to other people? And how do we test for it? We can catch the virus from a positive patient who may or may not have symptoms. Therefore, use of a mask and social distancing are the best tools we have to prevent spread of this virus. It may also be contracted from touching surfaces that have been contaminated with the virus. Therefore, wash your hands frequently, all use a hand sanitizer, and clean the most commonly touched surfaces at home and work with a sanitizer or soap and water. Question: what are the steps I am supposed to take if I have been to Bethany Hospital and developed symptoms at home? If you have been to Bethany Hospital since the 22nd of March, the government guidelines are clear. Quarantine yourself at home and inform 108. Do not wait for symptoms to start to quarantine yourself, because by then you may spread the virus to other members of your family and others too. If, however, you have developed symptoms, immediately inform 108 or 1070 and tell them when you were at Bethany and that you have developed symptoms. A question: a lot of people say that this virus is like a flu. How do I treat it at home? Some say paracetamol is enough to cure it. Yes, the virus does cause a flu-like illness and is very difficult to differentiate from it. The only way we can do it is by using very sensitive tests that differentiate the virus from others causing similar illness. As of now, there is no treatment for the virus. However, it is important to keep in mind that 80% of the population develop mild symptoms and do not need to be hospitalized. 80% once more. Of the remaining 20%, only 5% need ICU care. In these 20% who need hospitalization, the largest group overwhelmingly are those which have risk. And what are these risk factors? It is important for you to know. So, if you have symptoms and you have these risk factors, then it is important. Age more than 60 years, pre-existing heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, other chronic lung ailments, kidney and liver disease, cancer, and other forms of immunosuppression. Paracetamol helps in relieving fever and body ache, but it does not lead to cure of the infection. Question: when should I be worried about my symptoms? Do I need to go to a hospital? Whom should I call? Call 108. What are the symptoms that you should be looking for? Fever, cough, difficulty in breathing. Sometimes body ache, stomach upset, and loss of smell. This is one of the important features now, if we know, loss of smell or taste. There are only two reasons as of now for hospitalization. The first is difficulty in breathing, and the second is if you have any risk factors as mentioned above. If you have risk factors, then even if you have mild disease, it is advisable to mention the same to 108 and go to hospital. Question: we live in a very small house and we share a common bathroom. How do we practice self-isolation? Is this different from quarantine? Self-isolation is a form of quarantine that occurs at home or your place of dwelling. If you have a small house, it is not easy to do. The best course of action is to inform 108 or 1070 and tell them your situation so that you can request for admission to a corona care center. If the above is not possible, try to sleep in a separate bed at least 6 feet away from everyone. Wear a mask at all times. Avoid speaking directly to any family member and try to employ a barrier between you and that member. Eat separately and wash your own plate and hands thoroughly using soap and water. The latest studies say that this form of quarantine in a small house with other family members is not suitable. A coronary care center is better. Question: what is PPE? Everyone is talking about it nowadays. Do I need it? PPE is a name for personal protective equipment. This refers to the coverings that we employ to protect anyone in close contact with a known or suspected patient. It includes hood, goggles, a mask, which may be of different types depending on the risk, a face shield, full body gown, shoe covers and gloves, which may be up to 3 pairs at a time depending on the need. As a member of the public, you do not need it. A mask, hand sanitizer or soap and water, and social distancing are all that are required. Maintain these in the best possible way and remind others also, this is important, remind others also around you to do the same. Avoid spitting indiscriminately. Remember, this is good manners as well as for this disease. Question: a staff from Bethany Hospital was present at a social gathering with me. Should I be worried? No, you do not need to be worried unless you are in close contact for a prolonged period of time. I shared a meal with a person who has been a visitor to Bethany Hospital. Should I be worried? No, you need not be worried unless the person was in close contact with a known positive case. If I face other ailments apart from fever, cough, and I need medication but the police won't allow me, what should I do? First and foremost, carry your prescription if you have one with you. If you are refused permission, call 108-1070 and explain the problem calmly and do not panic. If the situation is an emergency, the police will not obstruct you. Question: I work at a bank. One of the staff of the Bethany Hospital came and had contact with me. What do I do? Our answer is: did you maintain social distancing? If yes, then there should not be a worry. If you are in close contact for a prolonged period of time, that is the difference. If you have maintained social distancing, do not worry. If you are in close contact for a prolonged period of time, it would be advisable to inform 108 and practice self-isolation. Question: one of my family members have come back from an affected state, or one of my family members have come back from Bethany Hospital. Can I catch the virus by washing her clothes and dishes? No, washing of dishes does not pose a hazard if a few precautions are taken. You need to wear a mask and gloves and wash the dishes thoroughly with soap and running water. And first, do not shake or agitate the clothes excessively. soak them in hot water and ordinary detergent or soap if you do not have a washing machine. If you use a washing machine, set the temperature to 60 to 90 degrees Celsius. Use a mask and gloves and dry out the clothes thoroughly, preferably in the sun. Somebody has asked a question, I want to be a responsible citizen and I want to reduce the transmission chances. Please give me some advice so that I can practice individually, as a member of family and as a member of a closed compound. The best way you can do this is by social distancing yourself from others, whether on a personal basis, as a family member or a member of a closed compound. If you are a suspect, then isolate yourself and maintain precautions mentioned earlier. Wear a mask at all times. I want to get tested because it will give me peace of mind if my result is negative. Should I do this? Testing for this disease is a science, and it will turn positive only after the virus is present in sufficient quantities in your nasopharynx and oropharynx. The virus will remain in these secretions for a variable amount of time, but is usually negative after 3 weeks. Therefore, testing of the disease for the disease at the right time is important. Testing at the wrong time can lead to a false sense of security if found negative. There are 2 tests available, the RT-PCR and the antibody test, rapid diagnostic test. These are different ways to test the disease. I will not go into detail for this. I have a newborn baby. I just visited Bethany Hospital. Can I still breastfeed my child? In view of the information we have so far, and this may change, if you do not have any symptoms, it is likely safe to breastfeed your child after you have washed your hands and your breasts with soap and water. If you have symptoms, the first thing to do is to use a mask and breastfeed with frequent washing with soap and water of your hands and the breasts. What do I do if there are other medical emergencies which are unrelated to the Covid-19 virus? For example, my father needs a dialysis, or my mother has some heart condition which will need immediate care. You can visit any hospital that has the facilities to treat a family member for the same. If there is any problem, please call the numbers which are available. There is a lockdown and curfew and I have a medical emergency. However, the police or the Shillong stopped me from going because I violated the curfew or lockdown. How do I convince them, or whom do I call? As mentioned earlier, explain the urgency of the situation. If necessary, ask them to see the patient after they have masked themselves, employed social distancing and proper hand washing. If there is still a problem, call 108 or 107 and explain the problem. Question. These days there are a lot of forwarded messages, screenshots, videos and so on. How do I confirm their credibility? Never believe in everything that you see or read on social media. Some of it will be true, but most of this information is false or partially false and is not based on fact. It is very difficult to sort out the true from the false, and in view of this, wait for press releases from the concerned authorities in the government. Question. A person just passed away due to coronavirus and he or she is very close to me. Can I attend the funeral? If yes, how do I protect myself? If no, may I know the reason why? No, it is advisable to stay away despite the difficulty in doing so and the emotional bonds involved. The reason for this is that there may be other positive persons who are from the immediate family. They may pose a risk of infection to others around them. Emotional reactions that happen during a death or burial are part of human nature, which may lead to acts of love and kindness involving hugging and crying, which pose a risk to others. And this is a very sensitive issue we are dealing with, and naturally we understand the frustrations, anger and sadness involved. However, for the interests of all, it is safer to follow what is mentioned above. Question. We live in a small house and our family member is working with the government who has to report to work Should we be worried as we don't know how to isolate? There should be no reason to worry. When the person goes to work, he or she must use a mask and socially distance themselves from others while performing their work, and wash hands with soap and water frequently. Should we count 21 days from the time we met with someone from Bethany or from the day the first case was declared? 14 days is the accepted period as of now from the time of your contact. To be absolutely sure, if it is practically possible, 28 days may be acceptable. At what time do we know we have to report for testing because we have been told to just observe our symptoms and isolate? As mentioned earlier, development of any symptoms, especially breathlessness, is when you will have to report. Further instructions will be given to you. Kumno laban yo egane jing pang COVID khandai. Kumno ka separate skiway. Ilaban yo egane jing pang na no pang budan ka. Bola pen pau ya ki sign. Budan ko bejer ho bat ka ambe kle bat ka kishit. Tidon kam bat pen kam ne mask bat ban ya pen sengai ni we bagi on social distancing. Kini budan kam sibon. Laban yo ro da kta ya ki jaka tiba la dan new virus. Tidon kam ban tet ti sibon sen kat bat ka bat ka sabon la ni hand sanitizer. Bat ban khoi kita jaka tiba ni jui kta bon sen. Ada melek pemno la dengan ala lek sa Bethany Hospital. Bat ngai yo kini gi jing pau jing pang. Tapi bila dan hampir la poi si Bethany Hospital na do aku arti umat la pang na kasorkan kala ai gi common le dei ban ya sa no hayin bat ban pen tip syaka 108 what up ban da sotu badan gi pang nama ba swai data la ban pen supply de ka sikwe pat badan tiba yang sem jopi dah ngai pau itu ni da ka badan jingsit jerho ani pangmet ti pentip syakawan 08 lani we not nyau not baya tho eki menno hila dan sa Bethany ibon ki ong bong ni virus ulang kum ka flu kumno ngara sumare ka hayeng ni virus ulang kum ka flu hi bat ka stong ban ya pen per na ki we pat ki flu bat ngila ban tipikal ngatan ban balik di test bukan mereka dan ke sumari ini hendai ke ba kam dan kami ini ban kenal kalau ban kisi spa ke beliau ya the virus kau nak kita ki yo tang ko ba malum malah ke pang ba dan kam ban sa hospital ini nak kini ki art ko di basa tang san na kita dan kam ban dan apa ICU di dan kam sisa ka ba kita ki dan kam ba ye kita ki dan kam ni ban rumah hospital ki pon ki dan ki pat ki jing ma ki jing ki dan ki pat ki sitom ki ba dan lupa ki ni menengkong kalau serta pala di dan terusnya ba dan jingpang jo kurang senam jingpang sini jingpang BP jingpang sedam kumpul jung kelai dan not cancer bertiwi kil kom jingpang sekeman hoi bandi doi paracetamol kaya rap ban pendunai ke jing shit ke jingpang jo kemet andre umirap ban khoi yang jingpang kali golong kumno lanu ngadi khuslai spang di ya song na jing ni don kam ne am di hospital don kam on phone jero we not ra but din pe ikini ki jing sko hapo ya fever ki din pe jing shit dan jer ho dan jing shitom man re man sem jing pang jo kamet jing sniu po but ting bom la ban myo so jing smart nak jing bam di jing do jong ka boarding smart kolang kawai but ban sa hospital dan tang asli gidau benengkong long la da sitom man ring mesin bat ka ba kalong la da dan kino kitu ki bangala ong men swa ki we pat ki jing pang dan ba dan pak itu dan kam sisa wat la ka jing pang jong ni corona ka duna bade man sa po ta ni sa akayeng kapolit ba kali sebar kalong kamasong dulu kalong kapolit bengia lelang ti kebanginnya penbentar lani kebanginnya bukan panggil dia kade bakiom quarantine dan self isolation nada kayeng kapolit sisa kalong kabei wasuk ban pendak kunta kalau khamba kalong la sila kayi rintan wiyen ban pentip sai we not proud we not not but itu iki kalau kumta but sikila menyelam dia pi syaka tak jaka pi on corona care center ya ban bo kerpang dia pi nei dam ban se te ha kat bala te bu ya ki jing thia riu khut oi na ka we nan kam ni mask ki por baro wa de kren be dari ya ki we pat ki bahayeng bang lakajong sai ya laki jong puliang di da ka saban kani ka kamda baba khamha la se bandek se ka coronary care center ye gani ka PPE ki kan tibreu dan kam na am ni ka PPE kani ka long ka jing kini ki jing sok ki baya dai ni ban nak itu ki be dan ha acan ha jong ki tu pang ya kani jing pang dan jing tak ka khamat ki ka mask ba de kirkom bakher ha ka gown ka bana do clear do chan ki jing ta ki juti pot ki gloves kum ki reu pai ba phim dan kam ya kan PPE pun dan kam ni ka mask jing pun dan kam ya ki tu ki jing kai khti ba ki jing penjagai we ni we ka la biang pot ya biang kulmar pathar senia basatai nomar ba kani ko Sapret ini timpang buat kalong bom internet atau kong buat kakor. Singkali kalong dan iba tre po betani pasal ki don hajan ya don aku iki jeng kedua lang buat na. Simdan kam kuslai lai stang buk don hajan baita buat kakor kolong ka bakam jalan bagi kedua lang kamu pala di kespo ka sanin. Nama bom jalan buat kibat kibala julek saya bertani hospital di Kuslai ni cuma dan kaman Kuslai sibon nama light stang boitai beri dan hajan bagi di nang Sumar ya kibala kenal dan kini kejimpang kadang-kadang kibat kejimpang kibat kam dawai di pulit kim sa enga le amno menengkong kat bala di ra ikut dawai di jompi ada kimpat syahi sapor dia kawan 108 sispa kabat we not not but ya to iki mungkin but la dei sia ka ba keke kulit kinam sistem fi kali long na tre po ban but iwe ba tre po betni kawan but kilaya kedua ba ngam jiba pulang la pila ya penjengai we ni we la pendengkam ki mas dan tiga kam dan kam evan selai sibun lai stang lai song acan bah bat aga por berjrong berkewajalan ti la do komta ka bah tip sya ka we not ra bat ban pen kerbang no ilade iwe nak ki bahayeng tengah lawan ka jaka ka ba don kene jingpang la ne ko betani hospital nala ban yo ne ngone jingpang da tuang na thet sai ki jain jong ki tiarbam jongki jing tiar jongki jing sat jongki tiarbam jadi kam da dan jing mai pi lada pi buat kato ni ki common le dan common dengi kamas but da pi level le ki gloves or la ban sat bha ki ni ki tiar da ka buat kesaban but in ka banta ki jan de ban kenter pala eki nama ro jing kenter ka ban se dia yang dem sim ki jan buat pedem ki apa ko baklut buat ka saban tapi don ka washing machine dem bo ka di kret jong ha do andru ko do dai ko degree jong ka centigrade penon kam mas gloves penon kem ba ki jan ha ka sni ka bala ti ngakwa ban long nong song snong ba kit kle ngakwa penduna ke jing separate dengan jing pang ai jing yarap jing batai Bahatang berkom lawan lawan ni kalau bapilu jangai ilde iwen kiwe but lalu long po ye kesem na ni po kas nong kathau tetapi day ba ya kendo bertitu kiba lesi bapang di don kam bertitu kepang ma ilade but bod itu belong swa iwe kali ong akwawan yo test nama banganduk kham supun sim dalam tip pakarong negatif kini ke test kidon but ini kalau belum positif lah ni kalau yo I bakadon kedai sisa tentang kapor jungka but kadang kapor kini di sentur jungi but dia kemot dan ni apa budal kan hadian lai tio kalau aja no tadi di kadang kam sibon ni suatu kapor kumno but test but kini kidok kila dia but kismot ko kila ada ni test kapor bom day isulai but test kalau lama ini sekejap berkat kalau negatif dari berkat dari kampai sisa komputer. Iwe keling adan Shillong iba dang dekha kada suwan sena hospital. Jadi nalane aman ai pun di Shillong jengah. Kat ko bujing suko jungi mentah ya rolong. Dada pimdan jing iwe ke jing ide ko ni jing pang ko kejar ho bakal shit kadang biang ya pi ban ai bun Shillong tam dan kam sat ha ya la ki jung ti ba ya ki jing bun jong pi na ban ta ki khoi ban ai la da dan je ho dan kam shaw dan kam kamas sekali pat ki we nan le kom no la dan ki we ki jing sistem bom de ba ni ga covid kan dai kumba da si ba dan kam yo dialysis ni ki dan kam Sumari kalau senang, bila pun Lex Konono Hospital kemudian ki lawan Sumari aku begini, buat pun sistem pun yang kumau kita bisa ki helpline number Is Ppe rawat lebar non. Kadang curfew buat dan sistem kemudian Lex Hospital dari kulit buat senang kim syak nomor ya percaya curfew kumno ngan oi ki kumngi ong swan itu lagi kejing kerki panle dan bang dari kilaya deng mas pen ki nampang but dan problem ini sa phone biang pasien tho batai akini si gibon ma kini ki jing ha message ke social media jungi ki belum ki WhatsApp dan kira kumno ki wakide bisisya ni bomde sebab ini kalau buat ngej akan menurut yo I hakini social media kindan di bode sisa buat di bobon di bom lawan kena kita menong di bawah klaro buat bom lawan kena ke sistem dia tip kano ba day buat no lain ke hakani tabhawa up dan bentar di pengguna jangka serkar luar kini kado I dan iwe ba kelat naka coronavirus buat kide ba nyes ngomjan ngala ne aman lit sekajing lit kontep ya I ngala kumno man ya dai lagi ada amsya balai mamsya kabah ban amlek sya kajing kontep watla kalau ke sistem ban nomlek kidan kijing smo komersial jungi ban pakajing te entre dah segi don kiwi pat kibodan ke Jepang naki bahai ngasem cerita bat kilaban ya cicuk kene Jepang kiwi pat kibodan hajan bat kadang ke semua demi kapal baklat pangide man yajan ide man keduk kiwi kidin man yam lumto ti kane bat kalau sisa kali ma ko krau kalau sisa ke doang ni semua belum bat ni semua lem ni suatu ni semua dom ting ting ke sing sekolah A ke sing sekolah C nên komentar jo ke sing bahas jong baro kabah ini dia buat komentar ko melong ante boleh sebut